What's up, guys? AAW here presenting you his the SmackDown Wrestling channel. I hope you're all having a good Friday afternoon. Yes, it is Friday, right? Oh, yes. It's Friday. And yeah, I feel pretty good to this Friday, man. I actually do feel pretty good. To be honest with you guys. On my phone right now, I feel pretty good. Hope you're all feeling a good Friday too. I hope you're all having a good Friday. Sorry, that's my phone. Checking, just making sure stuff. All right. Well, yeah, welcome to this Friday afternoon. Busy weekend coming up if you're a wrestling fan. If you're not a wrestling fan, you can watch if you want. Uh so before we get into this episode 2 of Wrestling Rivals, let you know my weekend plans on my main channel. On my main channel, Aaron Ward AWO, I will be having a She-Hulk spoiler review live stream discussion. You're allowed on if you've seen it. And yeah, come join me. That's on my main channel. But on this channel, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Clash of the Castle live watch along at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have NXT Worlds Collide live watch along. And I might do an AEW. I'm not sure if I'll make my decision on that tomorrow, okay? On AEW. The reason I'm not sure about AEW's live watch along is because of House of Dragon. And House of Dragon watch along party with a friend of mine I collab with on my main channel. That's the reason I'm not 100% sure on doing All Out AEW's pay-per-view watch along. But you're all here now for Wrestling Rivals episode 2. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment below to this channel. Oh man. Wanda Rousey has a YouTube channel. I didn't even know that. Damn. Oh well. Here. Wanda Rousey. I compete with Wanda Rousey, don't I? She's live. Playing video game. Oh no, not playing video games. Wow. I'm gonna subscribe to her. Yep. She's playing video games. So yeah, you heard it here, folks. I just subscribed to Wanda Rousey's YouTube channel. And she's playing video games right now. I would watch, but I have to do the stream. And I know I'm clicking a lot. Sorry. Forgive me. But let's get into it. So my first one, right? My first wrestling rivalry is The Rock and Austin. Two of the biggest stars in WWE history. Well, not just WWE history. Wrestling history. Wrestling history. That's my first episode. That was back in April or May. And I was going to do this episode back in May, but for some reason I decided not to do much content on this channel for a while until recently, till about last week. I came back. I wanted to get back into doing some wrestling related content. And in this episode, we're going to talk about, well, not as megastars as Austin and The Rock. Well, The Rock. Global star. Let's just say that. Dwayne Johnson's a global star. Megastar, global star, superstar, whatever. Austin, well, a lot of people knew Austin is, but he's not in the same realm as Rock or Dwayne Johnson. He was a little bit when he was at the height of his career. But in this episode, we're going to talk about two influential. Two high influential. I said that wrong. Yeah, I know. Two highly influential major stars in the wrestling business. Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Now, as you know, Triple H is now running WWE basically. Vince McMahon retired, and now Triple H is running everything WWE related. Stephanie's Everything that you see on TV, you have to run by him, and he has to give the approval and to yeah to approve the whatever creative comes up with for us to see what's on TV. And you know what? The difference between him and Vince, his father-in-law, I would say you can see a night and day the difference. The matches are better, the stories are better, and I think he cares more about wrestling. Is more up to date than Vince is, and I think it's willing to more listen to the writers and the superstars for ideas they want to come up with for the characters, for the stories they're telling, instead of Vince having this dead set idea on what this character should do or be, and what creative should come up with this character. Like that's it. We're creative, and the superstars with Triple H in charge can have more of a open mind for their open mind for the on-air product that they're showing us. On, baseball, they say off the field and on the field. Same thing like this. So let's get into it, guys. So what we're going to talk about with these two. Okay. These two have very interesting careers. Shawn Michaels, maybe arguably the best in-ring performer of all time. You could argue that. There's a lot of proof, evidence. If you watch his matches, there's a lot of matches with proof in the pudding that might be the best in-ring worker of all time. Triple H, maybe one of the best technical wrestlers, maybe one of the best wrestlers that'll break you down, that's dissect you in the ring, stuff like that. Kind of like Bret Hart, kind of. Cerebral wrestler, cerebral in the ring, aka cerebral assassin. And these two, how Shawn Michaels was part of a tag team, and Triple H, known as the Rockers. And Triple H was a WCW, but kind of wallowing. Is wallowing a word? In that lower to mid card tier of WCW in 93, 94, 95, around that time. Now, Shawn Michaels let's talk with Shawn Michaels first, and then we'll intertwine how their careers path connected with each other. And that involves the Clique, obviously, right? And if you know who the Clique is, well, if you don't know the Clique, it's a Sean Waltman, aka X-Pac, 123 Kid, Scott Hall, recently passed Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, Kevin Nash or Diesel, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. That's the Clique. So Shawn Michaels basically started wrestling. I'm not going to talk about his upbringing or anything like that. No. But he came into wrestling in the 80s, AWA, the indie circuit kind of stuff with Marty Jannetty, a tag team known as the Rockers. They were highly popular. Eventually, they made their name around the country of the state, USA. They made their name around the US. And they got to a point where WWE was interested in them. But the one thing about the Rockers, specifically Marty Jannetty, they were known to be taking drugs and party a lot. And they eventually did get them fired, but they got rehired again because of how talented they are. There was a time where they were supposed to win a tag team belt. This is not a taped event, so it doesn't count. It's considered not counted. They won a tag team belt, but something in the ring happened with the rope snapped or something, and this is not taped. So the WWE officials decided to make it not official, not canon. So they never won the tag team belts. And the Rockers were very popular group. Fans loved them. They're rock and roll tag team. The chicks dig them. Sorry, women. So if you're women, you're watching it. I meant, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, like the women were digging them. We're into them. Right? And it was time for a point in 91, 92 for them to split up. Shawn, They saw more. Vince and W saw more potential in Shawn Michaels than Martin Jannetty because Martin Jannetty, among of the Walkers, was more of the one getting in trouble, having the issues. Even though Shawn Michaels, yeah, you can say that. You can say what Shawn Michaels and his backstage antics. And so, that infamous segment, infamous, I guess a segment, an infamous backstage segment they had, the Brutus Brothers Beefcakes barbershop. That's when This is when the Walkers are seemingly having issues with each other, and it seemingly they look like they made up. But then, nope. Out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels super kicks Martin Jannetty and throws him through a window, face first, head first through a window, where Shawn Michaels officially became a heel, and he started to develop the persona as Shawn Michaels, sexy boy, the boy toy. All the women want him and stuff. And then he eventually partnered up with Sherry Martel, the legendary Sherry Martel. Who helped the theme music we're all accustomed to. There was an earlier version of it where Sherry Martel, and they did their own lyrics, but you can also hear Sherry Martel's lyrics. Once Shawn Michaels and Sherry Martel split up, they changed the theme music where they took Sherry Martel's voice out of the song because they didn't need her voice anymore when Shawn went solo. And she was about his manager for about a year and a half from WrestleMania 92, basically all of 92 to early 93. Some good matches, became Intercontinental Champion, and there was a lot of potential in him. Where Triple H, on the other hand, was a WCW on the mid card, lower tier card. And so Triple H was Paul John Levick, a French aristocrat or something like that. Actually, that's his real name, Paul Levick. He used it for a while. Then they gave him a new name called Terry Rising. Yeah, not exactly. Uh, a name that could probably get you anywhere in wrestling. Terry Rising. And so, and then he started to team up with was it William Regal? William Regal was WCW called the Blue Bloods. That really didn't go anywhere. And yeah, well, as that was happening, Shawn Michaels, brought in Kevin Nash, aka Diesel, to be his bodyguard for a while. Became Intercontinental Champion. Had a great Intercontinental Championship match with Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, at WrestleMania in '94 because there was two Intercontinental title belts, and whoever won that match became the official Intercontinental Champion. Great match where Shawn Michaels won. And then in '95, he won the World Rumble to get a title shot against and this is when Kevin Nash became a babyface as Diesel. To face Diesel at WrestleMania, which he lost, but after that, he hired Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, as his bodyguard, but Psycho Sid turned on him, officially making Shawn Michaels babyface. And this is the era where Triple H left WCW, came into WWE, being known as Hunter Hearst Helmsley, which is basically short for Triple H, but he wasn't called Triple H at the time. He was just called Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He was kind of like an English aristocrat with an accent, like a snobby English accent. He'd be like, I can't do the accent. I don't want to get in trouble. I mean, but he came in basically as a snobby English aristocrat, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And while this time was going on, Shawn Michaels was starting to get to the next level from Intercontinental Championship. That division to the more of the world heavyweight division, the top heavyweight division, where the likes of Bret Hart, Psycho Sid, Diesel, Undertaker, that division. And obviously in '96, he became champion when he defeated Bret Hart in an Iron Man match to become the WWE champion for the first time. And this is where Triple H started a feud with Mark Merrill, Duke of Dumpster Dozy and stuff like that. But what happened was, as he was getting pushed, and while this is going backstage, what? As this is going backstage, he was in this backstage group, a group that kind of ran things WWE from backstage. And a lot of superstars who were not part of this group did not like it because they thought they were immature or in for themselves or being selfish. That group was called the Clique, as I mentioned. Well, we had like Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, X-Pac, Kevin Nash, and Shawn Michaels. They're the ones partying, going to strip clubs, bars, taking drugs, whatever. Triple H has always been known to be clean, like he's clean, sober and stuff. He wouldn't take drugs, he wouldn't drink. So he's always known as the one watching out for them. Basically a designated driver. He was still part of the Clique, he was friends with them, but he was basically the one watching out for him as a designated driver, basically. Make sure they didn't get in trouble. Obviously, they got into trouble because getting drunk, taking drugs, I mean, your state of mind is not going to be there. You're going to be impaired. And he was always making sure that nothing terrible happens to them. Like they wake up dead or something like that, overdosing on pills or whatever, or on too much alcohol, whatever. Yeah, so he's friends with them because they love the business. That's the Clique say. The Clique will always tell you the reason they got along so well is because they love the business and they were always about business. And you could argue that they were in the business for themselves or not. That's a different story. But Triple H is part of that. So in '96, WWE was struggling at the time, right? WCW's competition. They were on the rise at this time, a little bit on the rise. They were starting to catch up. And this is before NWO came about a month or two before NWO. Two of the biggest names of WWE, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Diesel, and Razor Ramon, were up for contract renewals, but WWE couldn't afford them, and they made a deal with WCW to head over to WWE's rival, the other company. And so they had to finish up their dates with WWE because you have dates. When you schedule a contract, you have to work a certain amount of dates in the contract per year. Like say, I work 50 dates a year. That's it. Yeah, like that. So by the time they signed that contract, they only had a few more with WCW. They only had a few more dates left to work to WWE. Once their dates are up, they're done with the company and they could go work for WCW. So what happened was Kevin Nash's last date and Scott Hall's last date working for WWE was in Madison Square at a house show. Well, if you're new here, a house show is not a live event. It's not Raw or SmackDown or whatever you see on TV. A house show is not taped. I've been to many of them lately, and they're fun. House shows are fun because the superstars could be themselves more. They don't have to be like what they are on TV all the time. They could do more stuff. They can have more creativity on house shows. It's fun. But this is taking place in Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena, New York City. So Triple H had a match with Scott Razor Ramon earlier in the night. He lost. Later that night, there was a title match between Kevin Nash and Diesel versus Shawn Michaels in a steel cage match. Shawn Michaels won, but what was caught on tape, earlier tape, phone, whatever, camera, in the '90s, we didn't have like these. So we had to use something else like a recorder or a video recorder or whatever, right? Like an actual big camera or whatever, if you're allowed to bring that in. No, they weren't even. No, you were not allowed to bring stuff in the tape stuff. The tape do that. It was illegal then. It's legal now. It's legal back then. But somebody snuck in something in past security, whatever. Terrible security there. So that cage match, because that was the last date Razor Ramon and Diesel, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall was working for WWE, and they next Monday or whatever the week after, they're allowed to work for WCW. Because they signed with WCW. What happened was Triple H, X-Pac, Shawn Waltman, and Scott Hall all came down to the ring to have a big hug with Shawn Michaels and Diesel. And this is out of character. This is not scripted, planned. This is completely kayfabe. Kayfabe wrestling means not in character. Well, they're kayfabe. Let me see. I may have got that wrong. Okay, so yeah, they were out. This is out of character. They were not in character at this time. All hugging because there was the click. Some of Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall were baby faces. Diesel and Triple H and X-Pac, I think at the time, were heels, and this is completely out of character. And they were not supposed to have a hug at this time, because this is off script, and this pissed off a lot of people in the back because you're not supposed to break character. It's a big taboo in wrestling. Now it's not so much. It's okay, not so much. But back then, it was a taboo. Now he couldn't do anything about Shawn Michaels because he's a champion, so Shawn Michaels was safe. Kevin Nash, Diesel, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, he couldn't punish them because they were going to WCW. What can you can't punish somebody? You can't punish somebody whose contracts are up, right? Their last days they worked and the contract's up and they go working for a new company like a day later or a week later. You can't punish them. X-Pac was injured or whatever, so he couldn't really punish him. He was being punished at home anyway. And then eventually they did release Shawn Waltman, X-Pac, Shawn Waltman 1, 2, 3. They released him. He eventually did join WCW a little bit later on in '96. Triple H, Hunter Hearst, was the one that got punished because he was in line for a push who win King of the Ring in 1996. But he was only one of his push, so he kept losing the matches, getting jobbed out. While Shawn Michaels was top of the card because he couldn't punish the champion. And there was to a point where Triple H was losing to everybody. People didn't expect him to lose to. People he should have beaten. I know wrestling script is fake, but if you take that, don't look at it like that. Look at it like how, oh my god, how they're pushing these people and how these W perceives these people and how fans like look at me. If I'm a nobody, I should not be beating somebody that they tended to make a star out of. They somebody see high up. They see high, and they shouldn't. It shouldn't be like that. But with Triple H, they did that with people like with people that fans don't see winning. So they did it with Triple H for a while, and they eventually, you know what? They just Triple H didn't. He didn't argue. He didn't moan and complain about it. He didn't bitch about it. He took it like a man, and they respect that. In wrestling, if you take it like a man like that, they respect that. And eventually, that punishment, I call it a punishment by the officials, Vince McMahon specifically, because he's the one who makes the final call. They lifted on him and they started giving wins again and they started pushing him again. In '97, he introduced China, and then in '97, he won King of the Ring in '97. And his push, as the beginning of the Hunter Hearst involving the Triple H. They didn't call him Hunter Hearst as much; they called him Triple H, and that's when his friendship with Shawn Michaels appeared on screen because they were all screen fans. But in '97, him and Shawn Michaels' friendship appeared on screen. They're always together. They're like the duel. Shawn Michaels was a champion at times. They were a duel with China, and then in late '97, DX's form. G Generation X, suck it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get so much trouble for doing that. Crop chops, the immaturity. The skits they pulled off in '97, late '97, that the USA Network did not like. The USA Network did not, and they sent letters to Mr. McMahon to tell him, cut the stuff out, man. Tell him to cut the shit. Basically, they told him, no, tone it down. This is the attitude there, and the USA Network did not like it, even though it's getting them ratings. Well, later on, they were getting ratings because of the attitude era, but because Stone Cold and stuff. I mean, Stone Cold and Mike Tyson that one night on Raw in '98. Stone Cold and Mike Tyson did so much for WWE that saved WWE pretty much. I think that's one of the key moments that probably really turned the tide in the WWE's favor over WCW, because WCW for about a year and a half, 83 weeks, as Eric Bischoff's podcast with Conrad is called, was dominating WWE in the ratings war. For 83 weeks, about a year and a little bit more than a half. They were dominating WWE. But 98, the tide was starting to turn in WWE's favor. WCW starting to get worried a bit. And that Mike Tyson, Steve Austin thing did not help WCW at all. That really helped WWE, because Mike Tyson at the time was the height of his career, the most badass man on the planet. Boxing. I think this is 2 years after he bit Evander Holyfield's ear. It could have been that year. But yeah, Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin confrontation, because Stone Cold at the time, I know this is a Triple H Shawn Michaels thing, but Stone Cold at the time was red hot. And I believe, if they didn't have Stone Cold at the time, I don't know if WWE would still be here, because Stone Cold is what push. And you can say, oh, it's Vince McMahon's genius, the genius behind all this. Yeah, but they needed a superstar like that. They needed a mega star like Stone Cold at the time. And they got The Rock a little bit later on. Rock took a little bit longer than Stone Cold, Dwayne Johnson. But they needed that because WCW had Hogan, Savage, Sting, Ric Flair. They had all the major stars. But this is DX, guys. This is not Stone Cold. But you got Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Triple H is a champion. And you can say much about the screw job 97 when Bret Hart did not want to beat Shawn Michaels in Montreal to lose the title. But, the screw job happened and Shawn Michaels became champion. The reason was because, in the famous fight, they got into the bathroom where Jerry King Lawler was taking a dump. How that happened? That Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels' relationship was strained over the years. They were friends, but the relationship became strained over years. But that fight happened in a I forget which arena it was, but it was arena's bathroom, and Jerry King Lawler was where they taking a dump in the toilet room stall. Toilets in the stall. So what happened was Bret Hart was going to be professional, right? Bret Hart was just going to be professional. Tells Shawn Michaels this. It says he's willing to drop the title to him. Respect and stuff. Out of respect for Shawn Michaels told him he's not willing to do the exact same thing for Bret, and that started a fight. An infamous thing what happened in that fight. Bret pulled out some of Shawn Michaels' hair, and that's when Bret says, "I'll drop the title to anybody in Montreal, but not Shawn Michaels." That really. But eventually the screw job happened. Bret left for WCW, and Shawn Michaels is champion with DX doing those not a childish like skits, more adult like skits, with China, the famous skits. Second. And I like that one in '98 when USA Network, remember, they sent those letters to I see if I could get away with it. I'm sorry, but I want to see the DX press conference. This. I'm sorry. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me if I make a hit, but it's really funny. It's really one of the most funniest things. But yeah, USA Network did not like what they were seeing from DX. And they really hated. Okay, I think I got it for you guys. Okay, here we go.
and bitch. We will never,
Let's start from
however,
there.
to 11 p.m.
Yeah. I may get hit with that. I don't care. Yeah. That was them making fun of USA Network setting I think they were setting them to take them off the air because of that. That's back then now. Because there was a lot of kids watching wrestling back in the day, and what happened? I was around that era where I was in around that era where kids were wearing DX shirts, Stone Cold shirts, NWO shirts, and kids were doing the crotch in school and getting in trouble. I remember there was kids that. I mean, I loved wrestling back then, but it was so bad for influencing kids back then, man, at schools and stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, that's what happened. So that's in '98. What happened was, unfortunately, Shawn Michaels' career, right? '98 Royal Rumble against Taker, casket match. Back body drop. Taker did a back body drop where Shawn Michaels went over. Unfortunately, he was supposed to miss the casket, but his lower back hit the casket and it severely injured him, where he couldn't move for a while. Like he was fine that day, but the next day he couldn't get out of bed. And and this is the time where Shawn Michaels was like heavily into pills, painkillers, stuff like that. And he really needed stuff like that for the back because that was bad. And what happened was he lasted 2 more months in WWE at the time. So he could lose the title to Austin at WrestleMania. And after WrestleMania '98, Shawn Michaels was gone from wrestling. And that's when DX. The DX at the time was just Shawn Michaels, Triple H in China. And when Shawn Michaels left, Triple H took the reins of DX the next night on Raw. And Shawn Rollins and Xbox came back from WCW to join WWE as a new member, DX. And the New Age Outlaws became DX. So the DX became known as D-Generation X was Triple H, X-Pac, New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Billy Gunn. Badass Billy Gunn in China. And they were heels for like a month, and they turned babyface. And this is where Triple H and The Rock started to have their beginnings of becoming main eventers. The Nation Domination in DX were going at it with each other. But what really happened with the Nation DX is the push of Triple H and The Rock. It's like a SummerSlam '98 match. That ladder match was a great match between The Rock and Triple H, where Triple H won. Shawn Michaels did come back, but not to wrestle, but more of a commissioner role and more of a manager role on screen. And then the corporation formed. DX is feuding with the corporation. The Rock is part of the corporation. And then Triple H turned on the DX in '98 to join the corporation. And later on, Triple H, the corporation, or the corporate ministry, whatever you want to call it, like the corporation did the corporate ministry, they kind of went their separate ways. They kind of broke up, and Triple H decided to become a singles career. He didn't need DX, singles career, and he wanted to be. So that was like '99. August '99, that's when Triple H decided it was time for him to go to the top of the food chain in WWE, where it's top of the main card, where his goal is, and aiming for that goal was to become WWE champion. And Shawn Michaels is gone, all right, at the time. So so we're gonna skip that time period. He did become champion, '99, 2000, 2001. We're going to skip about that time and get to 2002 because Shawn Michaels wasn't really heavily involved in that with Triple H, man. Like he was here and there, a couple of dates, special referee dates, but he wasn't really there much to do anything to Triple H. 2002, Shawn Michaels comes back. It looks like they're going to form DX. But as they were going to do the DX crotch sign together, that's when Triple H turned to give him a pedigree. And then SummerSlam 2002 is when Shawn Michaels officially returned to his first wrestling match in a long time, after 4 years. and he beat Triple H, and he looked really, really good, really, really good in the ring. Look, he hasn't missed a beat. Seriously, like this guy's been out. This guy's been not wrestling for 4 years, and he's looks like he's never lost anything. He's never missed a beat. Like he's still good, man. And then Triple H at the end of the match, him with Sledgehammer. Shawn Michaels is on the shelf, but not really on the shelf, in the character shelf for a couple months. And Shawn Michaels does come back, and he started a feud with Triple H late 2002 and early 2003, and in 2004, a little bit of that. And Shawn Michaels got back into wrestling. And this is when Triple H started the group Evolution with Batista, Randy Orton, Ric Flair. And Shawn Michaels had his feud with Triple H, but he feud with Jericho. Kevin Nash came back in 2004, had a feud with Triple H, and Shawn Michaels had a feud with other people. And then it was like 2005, 2006. Triple H came back from a little bit of a hiatus in 2005. In 2006, he was still a heel, but there were signs of him turning babyface. Shawn Michaels is a babyface. There were signs of him, Triple H turning babyface, with McMahon and Shane McMahon getting involved. After WrestleMania 2006, when Triple H lost to Cena, that's when his face turn happened, and Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon sent the Spirits. We're going to send the Spirit Squad after Triple H. Now all of a sudden, you saw the Spirit Squad on the grab position getting taken out, and it was Shawn Michaels taking out the Spirit Squad, and he comes down to the ring, helps out with his old buddy Triple H, take out the rest of the Spirit Squad, and then they look at each other, and they look at the Vince McMahon, and they went, and DX like, "Oh my God, DX is back! DX is back!" And they feuded in match for a while, and then they feuded with Team RKO, Edge, and Orton. Fortunately, Triple H did get hurt in 2007, so unfortunately, DX couldn't continue on it. But DX did come back in 2008, 2009 with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. But Shawn Michaels had 2 WrestleMania matches. The second WrestleMania match, he lost, and he officially retired from wrestling, and so on. Triple H continued on to face the Undertaker, and yeah. Shawn Michaels retired in 2009, 2010. Triple H retired, this year because of heart problems. And he couldn't, stuff like that. But they had that one show in Saudi Arabia where Shawn Michaels came out of retirement for that one match, him and Triple H versus Kane and Undertaker. It was not a good match at all. It was 4 older men who were past their prime trying to do the best they can. And Shawn Michaels even admitted he should have never done that. Done that match. But it was a solid match. No, it wasn't. What am I saying? It's a solid match. And then they get to the bitter rival stuff because they did become bitter rivals when Triple H betrayed him, obviously. 2002. And they did feud. They had some great matches in 2002, 2003. Shawn Michaels became champion. They had some great 2 out of 3 matches. Stuff like that. They had a great triple threat at WrestleMania with him. I'm going to say his name. Chris Benoit. Bullshit. That's bullshit. And Shawn Michaels he put over some younger talents like Orton, Shawn and Benjamin. He had a great match with Kurt Angle, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase. I don't know who else, man. And Triple H has some great matches in time top the Rock, Stone Cold, Mick Foley. Mick Foley really helped him, took him to the next level in late '99, early 2000. That's what Mick Foley really made cemented Triple H as a legit main eventer. Good ones with Cena. No, not Cena. Batista did good. Good 3-month program. Batista, good storyteller. It was good, man. Like, and Shawn Michaels, some of the best matches Shawn Michaels I've watched, whenever I've seen. Definitely Razor Ramon, both WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Good matches with Bret Hart. Owen had some great matches with Owen Hart. Diesel, Triple H, Shawn and Benjamin on Raw. Those Undertaker matches later in his career. Bad Blood, I wouldn't say he put up a fight because he was getting bad at beating him. That was a great match too. Great storytelling. Bad Blood in Hell in a Cell versus Taker. That's the debut Kane. What else is there? With Triple H, some great matches were Street Fight with Mick Foley. Some of the great Walk matches, Austin matches, Kurt Angle matches, Batista matches. And SDX, some good matches they had were we're with RK Rated RKO. That's pretty funny. That's something I read. But now they're both pretty much in there. Now they both work for WWE. Well, Triple H married Stephanie McMahon, and he's in creative now. Shawn Michaels is basically the head of NXT now. Once NXT, trains NXT, make sure everything goes smoothly in NXT. So DX wants WWE, Generation X, the ones that go against the corporation, the ones that are against corporation, the ones that are rebellious against corporation are now running the corporation. DX, the rebellious group of DX, the ones anti-corporate, are running a business, are running a corporation. Oh my God, how the tables have turned. 20 years, almost 20, about 25, 24, 25 years later, DX is in charge. DX takes over. They really did take over. D-Generation X did really take over. And in the end, Triple H does a much better job creatively running the wrestling the product than Vince McMahon has. Look at the NXT resume before NXT 2.0. Good evidence there. And so far, since taking charge for about almost a month and a half, there's a positive vibe going on. Not just among everybody who watches wrestling says, "Oh, WWE is good again, man." There's a positive vibe going among the fans, the dirt sheets, the critics, whatever. But now there's positive vibes around the wrestling universe among wrestling talent within WWE, within the talent in WWE. Not just the talent, but creatively, management. There's positive there, and also there's positivity with wrestlers that don't have a contract with a specific company. That maybe WWE is a place to go now, a destination where they feel that they can be used proper now that Shawn Michaels is in charge and Triple H is in charge. And even though there's other wrestlers or in other companies that may not be happy, maybe some wrestlers are not happy with AEW, Impact, New Japan, and look at WWE with Triple H in charge. Yeah, if he's interested, if Triple H is interested in me, I might listen to them. Might listen to what he has to say, and what he can do for my character, for me. It sounds like the tables have turned. With McMahon, with Vince McMahon running things, it didn't sound like that. But with Triple H now, like it's like it's different. It's a different direction. Triple H is doing with WWE. You could clearly tell the contrast of Vince and Triple H running WWE is completely different, and it just looks better with Triple H in charge. And Shawn Michaels is there helping him. With the NXT. And hopefully Worlds Collide delivers. Hopefully Clash of the Castle delivers. Because there's some good matches on both cards, I'm telling you. Even though if you know me, I'm not exactly thrilled with NXT 2.0, but there's some matches that are worth seeing, like Ricochet versus Carmelo Hayes, like that. And then the Clash of the Castle, Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle. I mean, I'm looking forward to Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, Sheamus versus Gunther. That 6-woman tag team match, I'm really looking forward to that. And with that, guys, I'm gonna end the stream right here. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Wrestling Rivals, episode 2. And yes, and I'll be doing episode 3. I don't know when. I don't really have a scheduled date for this. It's not like a weekly show. Maybe I'll try to make it weekly, but I'm thinking for episode 3. Kane versus Undertaker. Maybe Kane versus Undertaker. Maybe Rock versus Mankind. I don't know. Sting versus Hogan. Hogan and Savage. I don't know. Just give me some. If you're watching this after this show ends on the replay and stuff, comment below what rivals you want me to do next. What wrestling rivalries you want me to do next for episode 3. And so yeah, guys. Before I go, remember. WWE Clash of the Castle, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, live watch along on this channel on Latest SmackDown. So click the notification bell when I go live for that pay-per-view or premium live event, as they call it now. And Sunday, Worlds Collide, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Same thing, click the notification bell. And I might do an AEW. It depends. Okay. I'll make my decision finally tomorrow on that. On that front. And if on my main channel, my AWO channel, Aaron Warrior channel, She-Hulk episode 3 spoiler review discussion stream. That's on my main channel. Clash of the Castle, Worlds Collide, AEW if it happens on this wrestling channel. She-Hulk on my AW Aaron Warrior channel. Okay? So once again, like, share, subscribe, comment below, click the notification bell for things to come up live or just uploaded, stuff like that. And remember, I do wrestling related content on this channel. So you'll be able to look out for just news, opinions, maybe reviews once in a while, preview and prediction shows, watch alongs, not just for premium live events, watch alongs for matches, old Nitros, old Raws, ECW events, pay-per-view events, or just maybe we'll just watch a match together and see what's going on, dissect the match and how good this match is, stuff like that. We'll go over the match. Okay, so take care, guys. With that, AWO presenting Elaine the SmackDown Wrestling Channel is out. Take care, guys.